Let me welcome you, my dear students. This is our fourth learning session of teaching of literature with BS English 8th semester. My dear students, if you remember what we did last time, we tried to learn about the literature and the uses of literature. So, dear students, let's discuss that today we are going to discuss about the approaches to use literature and teaching language through literature. So my dear students, let's discuss that according to Carter R and Long, means they stated that there are three models in the teaching of literature. The first one is the cultural model, which view literature as teacher-centered and source of facts, where teachers delegates knowledge and information to the students. The second one is the language model, means the language model which allows teachers to employ strategies used in language teaching to deconstruct the literary text in order to serve specific linguistics goals. If we talk about the third model of teaching literature, that is the personal growth models. Means in this model, means the simple is that the personal growth model, where the focus is on the particular use of language in a text and in a specific culture context. Means in a cultural context, these models have been incorporated in various approaches in the teaching of literature. So dear students, let's discuss these models. That in the cultural model we can simply say that the approach is used in the cultural model, that is the information based approach. The second one is the language model. We can simply say that in language model we find three types of approaches. The first one is the paraphrastic approach, the second one is the stylistics approach, and the third one is the language based approach. Means all language approaches are included in the language model. And we can simply say that the personal growth approach is based on personal response approach. Means the personal growth model has personal response approach, and the second is the moral philosophical approach. So let's discuss that which are the approaches used in the teaching of literature. So we can simply say that there are 6 approaches in the teaching of literature. The first one is the language based approach, the second one is the paraphrastic approach, the third one is the information based approach, the fourth one is the personal response approach, and the fifth one is the moral philosophical approach, and the sixth one is the stylistics approach. Now we are going to discuss these approaches one by one. So my dear students, if we talk about language based approach, we can simply say that means language based approach is an approach that allows students in a systematic and methodical way in order to exemplify specific linguistics features. We can simply say that it is the model which uses literary text for helping students improving their language proficiency by expose students to the target language and connect them to specific vocabulary and other aspects of language. So dear students, let's define this approach. That according to Carter, means language based approach helps students to focus attention on the way as to how the language is used. If we talk about the Lasser, means according to him, literary text as resources that cater for language practice through series of language activities rather than studying literature for the purpose of acquiring facts and information. So simple is that this is the approach which is based on a student. I mean, it is a student centered approach, and we can simply say that it is means in this model it utilizing the poem as a tool to learn a language. So we can say that the language based approach is in this approach means it is the student who is studying the language of the literary text will help to integrate the language and literature syllabus more closely. So detailed analysis of language of the literary text will help students to make meaningful interpretation or the informed evaluation of it. Means this is the approach which helps the students in simple is that in interpreted, means they are able to interpret in a meaningful way, or means they have the information and evaluation of the language. So means this is the approach that is very useful. So at the same time students will increase their general awareness and understanding of English language. So simple is that students are encouraged to draw on their knowledge of familiar grammatical, lexical or discoursal categories to make aesthetic judgment of the text. So this is about the language based approach. Now we are going to discuss the paraphrastic approach. So this is the approach, means the paraphrastic approach is primarily means paraphrasing and rewording the text to simpler language or use other languages to translate it. Means teachers use simple words or less complex sentence, means less complex sentence structure to make the original text easy to understand. Simple is that in a simple way, means if a teacher writes something in front of the class, means he use some verses and explain that verses in a simple way, or use the others language, means translate it into Urdu. So that is called the paraphrastic approach. So it is teacher centered approach and doesn't contribute much interesting activities towards students. Simple is that if it is upon the teacher, means if he write something on the whiteboard and explain it, so this is totally about the paraphrastic, and we can simply say that it is teacher centered approach. The next one is the information based approach. So information based approach gives knowledge and information to the students. So it is teacher centered and demands a lot of teachers' input in giving student various context of literary text, like on historical and political, cultural and social background. For example, if a teacher writes some verses on the on whiteboard and explain that verses in means, or simple is that in means he delivers some information on the basis of historical and political and cultural and social background. So this is called the information based approach. So we can say that the knowledge of literature is delivered as a source of information to the students, and it includes reading from the criticism or notes, explanation and lectures given by the teacher for examination's sake. So this is called the information based approach. Now we are going to discuss the next approach, that is the personal response approach. So my dear students, that personal response approach encourages students to make sense of their experiences and personal lives with text themes. For example, if a teacher writes something on the whiteboard and explains about it and asks the students what they think about about that text. Means if it totally depends on their personal experiences, and and the student will tell about something according to their experience. So it is also promotes students to associate the subject matter of the reading text with personal life experiences. It engages individual in literary text reading as personal fulfillment, and pleasure can be met while developing the language and literary competency. So it is the means this is the approach. We can say that it is the brainstorming approach. Means there are different we can say that the different methods used in this approach. The first one is the brainstorming, means small group discussion, general writing, and interpreting opinion and generating views from the text as practiced in the approach. So the next one is the moral philosophical approach. Means the learner seeks moral values from the particular literary text while reading it. So it helps students to be aware of values of moral and philosophical and identify them that lies in their reading. Means it is totally dependent on the teacher that he means it is the teacher who can compare the things and explains about the moral approach. I mean, what is the philosophy of means behind it. So the student need to go beyond the text for moral and philosophical inferences. So with this approach, teachers are able to direct student to achieve self realization as well as understanding while interpreting the literary text or the work. So this approach is very much in line with the aim of Pakistani secondary English language syllabus to introduce values for good citizenship. So this is about the moral philosophical approach. Now we are going to discuss the stylistics approach. So my dear students, that stylistics approach implies literary critique and literary critics and linguistics analysis. It is for students to appreciate and understand in a deep manner of the literary text. It helps students to interpret the text meaningful way and develops language awareness and knowledge. So we can say that it analyzes the language prior to the elements of the literary text. So my dear students, now we are going to discuss the teaching language through literature. Means a linguistics professor was lecturing to her class one day and says in English, she said, a double negative form a positive. What is it? So in some languages, though such a Russian, a double negative is still a negative. However, there is no language wherein a double positive can form a negative. So a voice from the back of the room piped up and, yeah, right. The student says, yes, it is right. So means we can say that it is an umbrella term giving information on every business. For example, literature, agriculture, for medicine, science, etc. So simple is that means if it depends on teacher, means teacher tells about the context of teaching and learning as well. Means it is the teacher who teaches language through literature. So we can simply say that means literature is the use of language effectively in suitable condition. Means he uses the literature to explains about the language. So literature helps the students unravel many meaning in a text with the guidance of instructor. We can simply say that means literature not only educate but also delights the students. Means how to entertain, means how to get entertainment from that text, means particular text. So the next one is the teaching of language through literature not only helps the students to value diverse cultures apart from their own culture, but also keeps them engaged in the task in a refreshing way. So simple is that the rise of English for language teaching led to the measured downgrading of literature as attention transferred to functional use of language. Means if a teacher is good in communicating in English communication, it means he can explain the literature in a good way to the students. So the teaching language through means we can simply say that the teaching language through literature, how means it is the revitalization of literature inevitable as students find it hard to decipher the nuance of language in ELT, means English for language teaching classroom. So language teaching is incomplete without literature. Means you cannot, means as you people know, means what is literature? Literature is the reflection of life, and how means we are going to teach English language through the reflection of their life, means English people life. So the literature develops thinking and language through interactive learning. It also develops communicative competence and critical literacy. So it draws on literature in order to develop students' understanding literary heritage. So my dear students, let me tell you that it draws on informational text and multimedia, and in order to build means simple is that in order to build a vocabulary and vocabulary strong content knowledge, not only vocabulary but a strong content of knowledge. I mean, it develops students oral language and literacy through appropriately challenging learning. So in recent years, the role of literature as a basic component and source of authentic text of the language curriculum rather than an ultimate aim of English instruction has been gained momentum. Means now we are going to discuss about the personal factor. Means among language educators there have been a whole debate as how, when, where and why means literature should be incorporated in English for second language or English for English as foreign language curriculum. So vigorous discussion of how literature and English for second language or English as foreign language instruction can work together and interact for the benefit of the student and teachers has led to the flourishment of interesting ideas, means learning and improving instructions for all. So many teachers consider the use of literature in language teaching as an interesting and worthy means concerns. So we can say that if we talk about means an example, we can say that in a paper, why a language teacher should use literary text in a language classroom. What sort of literature language teacher should use with language learners, means literature and the teacher of language skill and benefit to different genres of literature. Means simple is that if your teacher uses the genre of poetry or the genre of drama or the genre of fiction, he used it for the purpose of the language learning. Means it is the, we simply say that means it is the language which means it is the literature which explains about the explains about the people. Means it is simple is that it is the reflection of life of the people. So we can say that means it benefits of different genres of literature to language teaching will be taken into an account. Thus, the place of the literature as a tool rather than an end of teaching English as a second or foreign language will be uncovered. How? Means literature will help the teacher and as well as students in English classrooms. So the use of literature as a technique for teaching both basic language skill, for example reading, writing, listening and speaking, and language areas, for example means vocabulary, grammar and pronunciation, is very popular within a field of foreign language learning and teaching nowadays. Moreover, in translation courses, means many language teachers make their students translate literary texts like drama, poetry, and short stories into the mother tongue. Simple as that, since translation gives students the chance to practice the lexical, syntactic, semantic, pragmatic, and simple is that the stylistics knowledge they have acquired in other courses. Translation both as application means different areas covering for basic skills, and the fifth skill is the emphasis in language teaching. So this is about means how a teacher use the literature in a language classroom. So dear students, means if we talk about the literature in English language teaching, so we can say that the Malay means we listed some of the reasons for regarding literature as a potent resources in the language classroom, as means the universality. Means what is universality? Means because we are all human beings, and we can simply say that means human beings, and the themes literature deals with common to the all culture despite their different ways of treatment. Example for death, love, separation, grief, nature, means and the least familiar. So these experiences all happen to the human life. The next one is the non-triviality. So many of the more familiar form of the language teaching input tend to trivialize the text or experience. Means literature doesn't trivialize or talk down. It is about things which matter to the author when he wrote them. So it may offer genuine as well as merely means authentic input. The third one is the personal relevance. Means since we can say that since it deals with ideas, things, sensation and events which either constitutes part of the reader's experience or which they can enter into imaginatively, they are able to relate to their own lives. So the next one is means variety. So literature includes within it all possible varieties of subject matter, and it is in fact a battery of topic of use in English language teaching. So within literature we can find the language of law and law and of mountaineering and of medicine and means many other things. So we have the variety in literature. So the next one is the interest. Means literature deals with the theme. Means literature deals with the themes and topics which are intrinsically interesting because part of the human experience, and treats them in ways designed to engage them. The next one is the economy and the suggestive power. So one of the great strengths of the literature it is its suggestive power. So even it is simplest form, it involves us to go beyond what is said and what is implied, since it suggests many ideas with few words. Means literature is ideal for generating language discussion. Maximum output can often be driven from the minimum input. So the last one is the ambiguity. So my dear students, let me tell you that ambiguity is the last, means it is The highly suggestive and associative means literature speaks subtly different meaning to different people. It is rare for two readers to react identically to any given text and the teaching. So this has two advantages. The first advantage is that each learner interpret the validity within limited, and the second advantage is that an almost infinite or infinite funds of interactive discussion is guaranteed, since each person's perception is different, and that no two readers will have a completely convergent interpretation. Means establish the tension that is necessary for a genuine exchange of ideas. So this is all about our lecture. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.